Did you grow up watching this TV show? Soul Train was one of the longest syndicated TV shows in television history. Watch how we recreated it as a theme party. Soul Train began in 1970 on a Chicago television station created by the legendary late great Don Cornelius. My client requested for us to recreate the Soul Train studio along with a soul food restaurant at this airport venue. Here's a clip of the initial walkthrough. So coming in off of the elevator, so the elevator is right here behind me. There. So coming in off of the elevator, you have the door right in the front. This area here we can use for the concierge. Over to my right is the lobby with a beautiful chandelier, and we're in a loft type balcony setting. So over here would be where we would set up for the catering. Hey, Savannah. Plenty of space for that. Getting back to the main room, we'll come into this door, and this is going to be our restaurant room, our restaurant setup. They have a beautiful view of the downstairs lobby. The whole entire room is lined with windows with a gorgeous view of the airport. And I'm told that at night the sunsets are amazing. All of the chairs are here lined up. This is how they expect everything to be put back when the event is over. They have 120 chairs. We're expecting 150 guests, so we'll need to bring 30 extra chairs. Okay. There is a separate exit over on that side, which we can use to have people exit for the buffet line, go around and come back out and come back in the front door with their meal. So let me just go that way. There's some construction going on out the window. Let me just go this way, show you the airplanes. Just beautiful. Wide open space. All right, now we're headed out one of the exit doors. This is the room where the table and chairs need to be returned. And this is how everything is supposed to be set up when we're finished. And you come down this hallway. This is where the restrooms are. You got the men's room here. A sink room that would be for staff, and the women's room. And you come out this glass door here. We're back full circle where the elevators were. All right, now let's go downstairs. Lobby area. This is the front entrance where everyone would come in. And this is going to be our party room. So they come down the elevator and straight across into our dancing area. Now this is a room where I really need to make sure I get a lot of footage because I gotta set up staging, more restrooms. There's a door over there. I don't know where this leads to the lobby area. So yeah, as you saw in the clips, we're bringing Soul Train from Chicago to Atlanta, Georgia. And we're going to do 2 rooms. The upstairs room will be the restaurant. The downstairs room will be the dance studio. We've got 4 hours of setup time to get this done. As part of her party package, I provided my client with a digital invitation to send to all of her guests. Soul Train Through the Decades would be featuring music from 1970 to 2006 when the show ended. Guests could dress from any decade, the 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s. She wanted to have live performances, so I rented a stage and set up a Soul Train backdrop. For the stage and dance floor area, I provided flashing lights, a dance floor backdrop, and I even made a DIY disco dance floor. Let me show you a little behind the scenes of how I made it. I bought 5 boxes of vinyl floor tiles from Amazon, with 20 tiles in each box, giving me a total of 60 squares. Each tile is 12 by 12. I spray painted each box of tiles a different neon color. I used orange, green, yellow, blue, and red by Rust-Oleum. Guys, this was a lot of work in this Atlanta heat, and it took many days to complete because it rained almost every day that I was prepping for this event. So start early when you're going to do a project like this. After the paint dried, I covered each tile with clear packing tape to keep the paint from scratching off as people danced on it. And yes, it required like 10 rolls of tape. Then I applied black Gorilla Tape down all the seams and as a border to randomly connect all the colors together for that vintage disco floor look. I used about 20 rolls of this. For the Soul Food restaurant, I provided all of the tablescapes as well as a Soul Train treat table with backdrop. I made a custom 20 by 30 sign to display outside the restaurant. The Soul Train is chugging through the Atlanta cityscape. Here it is in a black frame with a silver mat in front of the podium at the restaurant. The disco ball paper plates, cups, napkins, and flatware are all from Amazon. Each table had a menu that named a different Atlanta area neighborhood as a train station. This provided a way for each table to be called up to the buffet. The centerpiece of every table was a partial train track, a DIY railroad crossing pole, along with some scattered disco balls in various sizes. On half of the tables, we used gold chargers with white linens, and on the other half of the tables, we used silver chargers with black linen, just to mix it up and create some visual interest. I made half of the railroad crossing poles look like this, while the other half of the poles were this style. By the way, I made the railroad crossing poles from Dollar Tree plungers. The wooden stick was the perfect height and weight for what I was going for. Always something unexpected. Here's an overall view of the restaurant seating with 6 seats at each table to give the guests some elbow room. Here's some footage of my team working so hard to get things done. There were only 5 of us to set up 2 rooms in 4 hours, but we did it! and I couldn't do it without them. Shout out to the Designs by Storm team. Every time I make props or decorations for an event, I'm always brainstorming on how I can improve the look and function of that item for the next event. I am my worst critic. Some things came out well, and many things I would do differently or better for the next time. I'm always learning and growing, and I love to challenge myself creatively. One thing is for sure, no one will ever have your exact same decor because we love to customize and come up with really creative details to make your event memorable. The original set on the Soul Train TV show was very simple, kind of low budget and a little cartoonish. So our design for decor mimicked that look. We wanted guests to feel like they were truly stepping back in time through the decades. The focus was more about the music and the dancing, so much so that the Soul Train dancers were not paid to be on the show. Fun fact, many dancers like Jody Watley and Rosie Perez made their debut to stardom by being Soul Train dancers. Jody Watley actually became a member of the group Shalimar. Here is a look at the backdrop behind the stage area. This is the area for Don Cornelius or Shamar Moore to host from. I also made a DIY Soul Train scramble game. This dance floor backdrop with colorful disco ball balloons came from Amazon. I put colorful, flashing push lights on the inside of the dance cubes. The cubes also from Amazon. And here you can see more of our DIY dance floor that is basically a continuation of what's happening in the backdrop. In case you were wondering, we did not use the peel and stick backing that came with the vinyl tiles. The paper is still on the back of the tiles. We just used clear packing tape to secure the dance floor to the venue floor, and it never shifted, it never moved, and it was also easy to remove without causing any damage to the venue floor. My team inflated dozens of these metallic disco ball balloons in various sizes, and we scattered them all over the venue floor. The guests loved them. I made these VIP tags for the Soul Train dancers and entertainers. Now I want to show you my favorite project for this event. The treat table concept was to have the guests enjoy their favorite childhood treats like penny candy, snack cakes, cookies, and drinks. But rather than the traditional way of serving in fancy candy jars or on dessert trays, I came up with the idea to lay the treat table out like it is downtown Atlanta. Our treats would be housed in the city buildings and laid out all around major landmarks. This would be my most unique treat table yet. I purchased all of the nostalgic candy that came over the last 50 years. I bought it from Amazon. Some of these candies I haven't seen in years. It was so much fun for the guests to reminisce and laugh about, and they took plenty of pictures. We went back to collect the decorations at the end of the party, and not one piece of candy was left on that table. They enjoyed every bit of it. Leave a comment about some of your favorite penny candy and treats. Do you recognize many of these? Now, some of the candy, I have to admit, I have never heard of it, but I figured somebody at the party would have seen it. I'll go ahead and show you the contents of the boxes in case you're interested in buying this assortment of candy from Amazon too. I also wanted my treat table to be animated, so I had the Soul Train running all through downtown Atlanta carrying treats. Wait till you see it, guys. It was so cute and fun. I hope this gives you some fresh ideas for how to lay out your next treat table. If it is, remember to press the like button. Here's how we displayed it at the party. Do you hear that? That's the Soul Train riding through downtown Atlanta. On this side of the table, I have some 1980s cassette tape boxes that are filled with treats. And here are the city buildings filled to the top floor with 80s and 90s candy. I even made some little billboard signs with the original packaging from the candy. Downtown Atlanta has a Ferris wheel, so we had to have that too, holding some Hostess chocolate cupcakes. There's also the World of Coca-Cola building, holding some mini cans of Coke. We've got the Capitol building, also full of candy. Some disco treat bags. And some 1990s boom boxes filled with more treats. And then all over the underground are scattered with cakes, cookies, brownies, Twinkies, and all your favorite treats through the decades. Another creative idea for this event was the party favors. I wanted to give the guests a really good laugh by giving them some ultra sheen hair grease. I found these mini jars on Amazon. You may remember that the TV show was always sponsored by Johnson & Johnson hair and beauty products, so I wanted to give a nod to that memory too. Now, it was tedious to fill all these little jars and make little labels for them, but it was worth it to see all the smiles and giggles. For half of the favors, we gave out ultra sheen hair grease, and for the other half of the favors, we gave out some lip balm. But everyone received a disco ball keychain as well. We also gave out some additional prizes to contest winners from our Johnson & Johnson sponsored display. I even made my version of the Soul Train Music Award for the contest winners. I found a toy train at the Goodwill and spray painted it gold. Another really fun feature was my 360 photo booth service. Here you see Savannah setting it up. I bought my 360 from Amazon. The brand is all in white and the company or seller is Victoria Shufani. I am so happy with this product and their customer service was excellent. The guests just loved it. I'll show a few clips from the party to close out this video. Thanks for watching. I know that this video was a little longer than I usually make them, but it was filled with creative ideas that I hope you enjoyed and were inspired by. Until next time, I wish you love, peace, and soul.
my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the cause and cure is you. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control and something takes over me in a day.